Alright, I'm going to show you how to make a tie bow, tie rose using ribbon folding techniques. If you search for ribbon rose, this usually shows up. For a regular width tie, since I know we're going to be using 2-inch skinny ties on the Magiscola shop page. You can also fold a regular tie in 2 to practice. You'll come up with a bit of a thicker rose. For the middle of it, so if you want, you can start by measuring how long you need for around the neck. So I'll need about this much with a little bit of extra that you can leave for the petal or for using for the knot itself. I'll leave about that much. Now for the middle of this, either you can start by making it a close spiral, just looping and looping and looping. And again, this is the tail that goes on around your neck, and here's the rest that I keep feeding into it like that, and looping, whoop, until you have a nice healthy amount. It's about 1 inch in diameter across, maybe a little bit bigger. Now this is where the fabric rose training comes in. If you search how to make fabric roses, it'll show you how to do this, or they'll show you how to make like an accordion thing that you pull through. It's the same thing. So we're going to take this side. As you turn, you're going to be folding your fingers under. So here is another view of it. Take it and fold your fingers under. Let me put it down like this. Here we go. So I'm taking it and folding my fingers under, wrapping it around until we get where the other point comes. Take it and fold it under again. See this top edge here? Fold it underwards. Underwards, that sounds weird. Fold it around again until you get to this corner again. Take this top edge, fold it outwards and down. All of these guys are outwards and down. See how it's starting to form the points of the petals? Again, fold outwards and down. We're coming to the tag, your choice whether to have that on the outside or the inside. Or you can actually thread this through it to make everything hold on better. You can thread the tail going around your neck into it. If you don't want that, just readjust a little bit. Say, all right, we're going to start this petal a little bit earlier. Let's go like that. And that way, that tag is kind of forcibly hidden in there. On the outside, and that's your fabric rose part. So for this, you can use safety pins or straight pins to hold everything in place. Or if you're really, really careful and you do some careful threading, I know I could get this to work just by threading the tail through the loop here and then looping this around my neck using this convenient little loopy-doopy bit that I've got here to thread around my neck. But I like to make sure everything kind of hangs on a little bit better, so probably safety pins would be the best thing to use on the day of. So we're just gonna make sure nothing's sticking out towards your neck. So if you do use straight pins, be very, very careful about how you pin these guys. I pin in and then out and then send it back in again so that it's not going to stick me randomly in the neck. And now you've got a rose with a tail attached. At this point you could use this little tail here, see the underside of the fabric. This is the tail that you can fold to make a petal, or I'm just going to use the bottom end of my tail to make a petal. So loopy-doopy it around your neck. Then from here, you can either just wrap it around the back end to make it hang into place. If you want it high on your neck, check where my loop is from before. You're going to want to loop it through that tie loop that we had on the back from before, or you could just pin it in whatever direction you like. I like a lot of quick release stuff, so I usually design it so that it will fall apart pretty easily. And then, let's see which side's on the outside. And I like making sure that my tie seam is faced on the inside, so we make everything pretty. And then this will be my little petal coming out the side. So if I want to, I can tie it super, super tight. For the purposes of this tutorial, I will not tie it incredibly tight. Tuck that guy in there. And there you go. You get the little petal sticking out the side there. You can make it the back of the fabric. You can make it a completely different fabric if you stick it on there. You get a nice little rose for around your neck. And if you want, you can stick it over to the side here. Have it hanging out like that. You can put it right in the front. You can put it slightly off center. Probably could throw it around the back if you want and be like, oh, there's a rose on my back. How did it get there? Yeah. So there you go. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know. If you want, I can also show you how to do it so that you don't need any pins, but that is usually just the product of careful craftsmanship and careful planning. I do like the pin idea because then you can actually take it off for a little bit if you're eating, if you're doing exercise and worried about getting your tie dirty. You still have a fully pinned product that won't come undone on you. I'm going to do this once more, this time with the skinny tie, and my loop on the back came undone, so I am just going to pin that in place in case I need it. Here we go. As you can see, so this is the loop that came completely undone. Tuck that guy in there. I held it in place, and now we're just going to pin it. So I send it into the fabric, out again for a second, and then back in parallel to everything else so that I have, hopefully, the least chance of getting prickered by it. That's what that looks like. And from here, this one I think is a 1.5 inch skinny tie, so picture it being a little bit thicker than this. This time, to show you both styles of it, this one I'm actually going to start just rolling, and then we'll leave enough at the end that we can tie with, but this way it doesn't undo itself from the center. And rolling, and rolling, and we're rolling, and we're rolling. Actually going to use this end. And I'm already at the part that has the tie loop, so I know I won't be using that for this one. And we're spinning, and after about an inch, that is spun enough. So now we're going to start doing the ribbon rose part, where you take the top edge and you fold it down into the outside, top edge, down into the outside, and then pull everything around like this until you get to, here's where I first pulled it, here's the bottom edge, and the opposite end flips up on this side. So again, take this top edge, fold it down and around the outside, see how that crosses there in front? And then since that crosses, you flip the entire thing. Now you have the trailing edge, making another bump up there. And going around, we're just going to keep going around. I like to make sure that they don't perfectly line up so that you don't end up with a huge boat-shaped flower. And you can do this by making these break a little bit earlier if you want. You can break the petal there. This one I'm just going to let naturally break right there. And going around. I might pin this one since the fabric is super slippery. And going around. Going around. And around. And again, trying not to hide what I'm doing. Yeah, I am going to pin this one in place. It is a very, very jumpy rose. And sending a pin right down the middle of it. This is just for demo purposes. If you were actually pinning it, I would recommend safety pins. And again, taking that top edge, folding it around to the outside and down. And see here how I have this point here. I don't want it to overlap right on that point, so I'm going to send this next petal so that it doesn't start folding until a little bit around the rose. And around. And around. I think that's about enough. Yeah, if anything, we're going to backtrack a little bit. So just a pin to hold it in place for now. I've done this with alligator clips and they work just fine hanging onto the fabric. I've done this with safety pins and it really does work the best. Straight pins are just convenient because then I can rip it out really easily. So that is what the rose looks like all done. Then you send it around your neck. At this point you could tie it like a normal tie if you wanted, or I like to loop it once around and back so that it looks like this with a rose tucked in the middle. That way I've got the stem falling naturally. There we go. But it does come undone in case something does tug on it or it gets stuck somewhere. And there, sorry for the straight pins sticking out. I'm just pinning this to the collar so that it hangs out in place. Or if you need to, you can have a friend help you with this. And there you go. Little rose in place. Oh, did I accidentally unpin it? Yeah, I accidentally unpinned it, but there you guys see. And then you see it starts to come undone if the pins are undone. So yeah, feel free to let me know if you have any more questions, or if you search for a fabric rose tutorial, or more specifically ribbon rose tutorial. You'll get to learn the diagram way of how to do this. Yay! Take care and have fun!